you're going to see this pastor warn his church and the black women in his church about the Democrat Party's agenda and going against God's will. Definitely got to touch on that. Then we're going to talk about how Roland Martin ran into Miss Kayla, the black woman, the Chick-fil-A woman. Most people know her as that, who ran into Donald Trump. Yeah. And let's just say that Roland Martin got confronted. Okay. I'll just be nice about it. Okay. Then on top of that, I'm going to show y'all this clip where people just think that black Trump supporters are just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And we tired of y'all saying that we support them for the check.
Especially speaking to my black sisters tonight, because y'all got a big decision. And here you are having to make a decision between your Christian values or the symbolism of having somebody in the presidency that looks like me. It's going to be rough for black women. But here's where you're getting ready to have your loyalty test. If a party is not doing the will of God, will you go along with it? That's the question you got to ask. If a party is not tuned into doing the will of God, will you vote against God? What y'all don't understand, when you go to the polls, you either voting for God or against him. Because if you vote against his agenda, and when they get in office and that agenda comes, you got to bear some responsibility. Who is on the Lord's side? Let him come. Because the other side is full of paganism. The beliefs, the positions, the agenda are all pagan. That means if you put your black sister in office, she's bringing paganism into government. You will be held responsible on the day we stand before God, just because you want to rock with somebody that may not have but a drop of black blood in them. People make their decisions off of stupid stuff, and I'm talking about Christians that ain't even thinking, because I want to rock with my folk. I can't be against my folk. See, that's what I'm talking about, that idolatry right there, the God of blackness, and it's an idol. And God sees that in the heart. And you got to stand before him. Coming soon, because people have asked me, why is it you as a black preacher, encouraging us to vote for Trump? I ain't told you had to go vote for Trump. I'm giving you my values and my views. I give you that. It's up to you to accept them or not. Let me show you this. This is one of the things that you will see her where she was dancing at, and she's really trying to show that she's black. And that's her in the pink pants, of course. And all that. They got to do everything to show black people. We know y'all like the boogie. Y'all got to dance. Look at that. I'm pointing there. Hey, I'm over here getting with it too. But you're going to make me laugh. Shut up, Crystal. And so they do all that to pander. And the whole thing is connect with black people. It really shows what they think about us. And I'm talking about white liberals behind the scene. That's what they think about us. Booty shaking and twerking. That's all black folk like. Ain't said nothing about no issues. As if we can't think for ourselves, that we don't understand the issues. Didn't mention one issue. And then the only other rhetoric they got is hate Trump. Tell us what you gonna do for us when you get in office. They can't, because all of the issues are contrary to freedom, and they are contrary to what's best for our values and what's best for our families and best for our way of life. Kamala is a socialist. She wants the government to do everything for people without them working. Why? If we give people everything from the government, we get to control them.
And I'd have to agree with this pastor, man. If you are a Christian and you are someone whom is spiritual and believe in God, it's a lot that's going on with the Democratic Party today that don't align with the belief system of that. It's a direct contradiction. Somebody wrote, if Christians would vote the Bible, Trump would get 120 million votes. They need to register first. Somebody said, I can't vote Democrat ever. Have you ever read the history of the Democratic Party? It reads like a nonstop terror attack against against American people, not African American people. It said American people. A Christian and a Democrat have two completely different perceptions of reality. Democrats lean more towards atheism, secularism, Darwinism, Marxism, and eugenics. As Christians, we believe in God. Amen for that. Now, I don't know how I feel to mention that they're trying to cancel Janet Jackson for not endorsing Kamala Harris, but we're going to dive into that a little bit later. Right now, a few hours ago, Roland Martin got ran up on by Miss Kayla Baby on Twitter today and had a lot to say. You'll see what happens when a woman try to talk to him versus a man. Yeah, the energy is different.
So it's all right. I will reach out to your producer. I will reach out to your producer. And we can
Michaela, I'm gonna tell you. Michaela, I'm gonna tell you right now, Michaela. If you bring that bullshit to my show, it ain't
all
going
you're
anywhere.
saying is bullshit. And I promise it won't end
It
well
ain't
for
going
you.
anywhere.
But it's all good. I would hate for you to be exposed on your own platform, but I will for you. I will be ready for you. And I hope you have more national examples and more results.
Oh, baby, I got examples
I want to hear more about what you're doing in regards to complaining about what somebody else is doing. So don't girl bye if you can't get results. Results matter. You have none. But thank you, Roland Martin. Thank you, Roland Martin. And thank you all for listening everywhere else. I walked up to you, did I not? Did I not walk up to you and introduce myself? All right, sir.
But you're loud and wrong.
No, you're loud.
No, you're loud and wrong.
You have a following of people who love you, so
Baby,
that's
I'm not worried about them.
You are.
You just loud and wrong.
I don't have to lie. That's you. And you get paid to do that.
First of all,
but like I said, we'll talk.
baby, I can
I'll
break
call
it
you.
down
I
by
have
state.
other stuff to do. We'll talk. We'll talk. I have other stuff to do, but we'll talk. Remember, I walked up to him while he's talking about running. And I also said that I'm welcome to come sit with him on his show. So that
Wow. All I gather is he don't care what his following thinks. He don't care about them, which is sort of like, you can argue that he's in the heat of the moment, wasn't completely aware, but nah, man, that goes to show you the sheeple right there. These are the people that are endorsing Kamala Harris and spewing the propaganda and continuously making you feel like Donald Trump is the threat to democracy when it's really them. Somebody said, listen to his mannerisms, girl bye, girl baby. This dude said, girl bye. Come on, dog. Somebody said Roland got exposed. This is hilarious. Shout out to the sister. We got your back, baby. He had no smoke for you. Yeah, he has a lot of energy. Not only is the chump. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this is the right energy that you want to give a woman, man. Just as a man, I'm not saying that you can't speak your mind or nothing like that. I'm in no way, shape, or form am I saying that, but I don't know how it all transpired. I don't know, what was said before the live went live. So there's that too. I'll just leave that at that for now. But moving on. Why do people... Matter of fact, I think the first thing that I'm going to show y'all is Kamala Harris just completely just trying to be black too much, man. I know y'all like, how's she trying to be black? I don't know. I just thought it was hilarious the way that she interacted at the national, what is it, Black Journalist Convention? Yeah. Campaign she tried to use it as a campaign event too. It says, unbelievable. The National Association of Black Journalists asks her hard-hitting questions like, why is joy so important to your campaign? And this is her response.
Why is joy important to you to insert into this election? And what do you make of Republicans using that as a way to suggest that you're not a serious candidate?
Well, sometimes I think, and I'll say to whoever the young people are who are watching this, there are some times when your adversaries will try and turn your strength into a weakness. Don't you let them. Don't you let them. I find joy in the American people. I find joy and optimism.
That definitely didn't feel like journalists campaign. I don't really know. It felt mostly like a campaign. That definitely didn't feel like journalists campaign. I don't really know. It felt mostly like a campaign event when I watched that. Honestly, the looks on their faces just says it all. And of course, like, we seen Donald Trump go up there in that same event. And he was criticized for pulling up, and Kamala only decided to pull up after the fact to use it as a political campaign event. She's been utilizing celebrities and things like that to kind of fluff everything. But come on, man, we not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and we don't owe the Democratic Party anything, no, at all. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, a little tussle every now and again. But somebody said, I like seeing black women standing on business against the Indian fraud.
Some of y'all would vote for the devil himself if the devil ran for president as a Democrat. And let me tell you, this is especially for all you black people who are out there telling me that I need to just be quiet. I shouldn't ask questions of Kamala Harris. I should support her just because she's black. I'm hating on her. No, I am not. She is a political candidate running for the highest office in the land. As a voter, as an American citizen, I have every right to demand answers of her. I have the right to examine her policy positions, to demand to know her policy positions before I just blindly give her my vote. And I want you all to know, some of you all have such low standards that all a person has to do is come out and run as a Democrat, especially for the black voters. All a person has to do is come out and run as a Democrat, say all these nice things, what they're planning on doing, paint a pretty picture, demonize the other side, and you automatically give them your vote without checking into those people, without seeing what their policy positions are, without trying to understand their policy positions. You need to do your research on these political candidates, because these people are going to be sitting in the highest office in the land, making decisions that's going to affect your life, that's going to affect your family's life. In a few years, your family could either be struggling to survive or thriving based on the policy positions that these people put out. So for me, it's going to take more than somebody showing up and being black or being a woman or South Asian, whatever nationality they are. It's going to take more than that for me to give somebody my vote. Votes are earned. And especially to all the black voters who vote Democrat just because your mother did it and the grandmother did it and generations before you have been doing it. I don't care who's been voting Democrat before me. I don't care if my mother voted Democrat and my father and all the generations before me voted Democrat. I don't owe the Democratic Party a thing. I don't owe Kamala Harris a thing. She's running for office. She is the one who owes the American people. She owes the American people an explanation. She owes the American people clarity on her policy positions and how they are going to help the American people. She is the one indebted to the American people. The American people are not indebted to her. I don't owe her anything, or the Democratic Party.
Not only do we not owe the Democratic Party nothing, but I feel like they owe us. You know what I'm saying? They owe us some answers. They owe us some credit and an apology for insulting our intelligence, as you're going to see this woman who just nuked MSNBS. I think it's NDC. Yeah, MSNBS for being propagandist. And you're going to realize that, hey, just because I'm black and I support Donald Trump, don't mean it's just for the check. I swear you're going to be like, wow.
And this is sound of Donald Trump at his rally in North Carolina today without Mark Robinson. Mm-hmm. And what he had to say about Oprah.
Did you see her on Oprah? That's not going to be president. Oprah didn't know what the hell to do. Oprah was like embarrassed. She wanted to hide under the table. But she's a professional and she was able to sort of disguise it. No, she wanted to go right under the table.
Whitley, why does Donald Trump lie like that? I mean, everybody knows. Come on.
I think that there were times during that interview where it looked like Oprah was trying to figure out where VP Harris was going. And I think when we're looking at this circumspectly, when we're talking about battleground states and talking to working everyday Americans, utilizing a billionaire who's not dealing with the cost of inflation, with stagnant wages, with stagnant industries is really just out of touch. And I think that's what he really meant to say, is that hiding behind Hollywood as opposed to really just talking about the policies of your administration may not be working specifically in battleground states.
That is literally rich, Whitley.
Thank you. Thank you. It's wealthy. It's wealthy. It's wealthy. It's wealthy.
A rich man. Come on.
A couple of things here. So Oprah is one of the only people who has been able to have an audience of 20 million people for over many, many years. So I mean, she is a professional here, and she does have an audience, and she knows how to coordinate or how to appeal to wide audiences. The second thing is I'm really tired of all of the surrogates and Donald Trump and the J.D. Vance all saying this. That's not what the candidates are saying. That is not what they're doing. They're insulting people personally. They're being mean. They're being really vindictive. They're not sticking to the issues. And if they were sticking to the issues and saying what you think they mean to say, we'd be in a much different race. But they can't control themselves, and they just need to be mean and vindictive. And that's not winning them the independent voters.
Well, I definitely don't need a history lesson on Oprah, who's Black history, because I'm very familiar with all that she has done. But what I'm saying is, when you're talking to people specifically in a state where the average salary is $49,000, bringing a billionaire up on stage is going to present out of touch, specifically for working class Americans. And let me explain why. It's because the issues that they're talking about does not impact her the same, as opposed to having working class people maybe engaging with her, maybe a town hall forum. She has been utilizing celebrities to promote her campaign, as opposed to utilizing working class people or utilizing them to speak to working class people. And there is a disconnect.
I don't know. I mean, did you watch the town? I mean, it was a town hall. It was a town hall style forum, and Oprah Winfrey is, I mean, she's not a talk show host now or a journalist now, but it was like watching Oprah from the 90s and the 80s.
And also the polls are closing. So clearly she's doing something right, because she's meeting people where they are, because she is now leading in the polls, and she's closing on issues that were Donald Trump's, like the economy and immigration. So something is working.
But polls are a snapshot in time, and we all know that, right? She was just down in the polls, specifically losing with African-American men, and this doesn't necessarily help her. When you see her utilizing celebrities in this way, when they want policies, they don't want the performance of Hollywood within their political spheres.
I mean, again, if you watched the town hall forum, you heard her talk about policies.
Ouch. Yeah. But as somebody wrote, she was absolutely correct. There isn't a celebrity out. There isn't a celebrity out there endorsing Kamala who gives a damn about the working class. And whoever he is, he's supposed to be neutral on journalists. Unbelievable. Whitley, her name, did a great job, and good for her. And she snapped that other one and gave her a reality check real quick. You know, you had to get some sass. It's from a woman named Tracy. Get a little bit of sass. They said the propagandists, we really struggling. Geez. I wonder if they have any moments of reflection about how much they demean themselves. Yeah, probably not. I don't think so. Now, Janet Jackson told no lies. Let me go and pull it up. I didn't even have it prepared. I'm just literally going to hit search in Janet Jackson. It should be one of the first things that pop up. So yeah, it actually is. So it says right here. Why did it scroll down? Hold on, let me get y'all on this. It says right here, Janet Jackson repeats right-wing conspiracy theory about Kamala Harris race and wild Guardian interview that she did. Of course, this was posted by someone on the left. But she's a conspiracy theorist just because she doesn't support Kamala Harris. That y'all can read the cap. I mean, up here. I think it's cut off a little bit for y'all. Now the great Janet Jackson is a conspiracy theorist because she's not with the lies and the BS. Every time someone doesn't jump on I support Kamala train, the negative hit piece is gonna fly like clockwork. Interview was wild. But all of this is laughable at this point, he wrote. But can we cancel Janet Jackson?
Black folk, let me make sure I get this straight. You want to cancel Janet Jackson, Michael's little sister, in the same month that Tito died. You want to cancel Penny from Good Times. You want to cancel a cultural icon that we grew up with, that we know for certain is black. We know the whole family, from the father to the mama to the brothers and sisters, even some of the cousins.
Yeah, because in the interview, they went on to go, misinformation, woo, woo, woo. And we got a lot of people giving us mixed reviews online about this, but come on. Somebody wrote, I've always considered the Jackson family to be American royalty. Not Joe, but the rest of the family, somebody said. And they went on to talk about how they set up Michael Jackson and responsible for, his unaliving. Yeah, he talked about his childhood being influenced, but yeah, he loved her. And she's such a huge influence is what I'm reading. Yeah, man. But even outside of that, she's somebody who's just allowed to have her own thought process. I'm not gonna let y'all sit there and try to kick her out the black community just because she don't like what y'all, she don't agree with what y'all like, bro. Come on, man. Get a life. She's a national treasure. And my piece is here.